What's up? What's up? I'm Kyle Fugit. We are doing Acquisitions Live, or Acquisitions Cafe Live again, coming at you for this is actually our second week doing this. So anything and everything buying deals, mainly creative finance, STRs, long-term rentals, hotels, the whole thing, right? So we do a lot of lead gen on the front side, locking things up on our contract, or just, we just know of deals that are out there, right? So we do this live every single week. And it's really about learning anything from creative finance. Like we've got deals ready to dispo. So if you're headhunting in a certain area and you're ready to purchase, this is the live call that you need to be on. So we run 90 minutes. I'm usually on with Bobby and Jeremy, but Jeremy's on a 10-day travel, and Bobby actually had to fly out to Arizona for they're actually doing a challenge where they're going to get more deals on their contract. So today we're going to go kind of high level on the creative finance side, how we're lead gen and how we're calling, how we're locking things up. That way, like if you have something in your area too that you're looking at doing and you're like, hey, I want to get my neighbor's house under contract. I want to do something super creative for that. Like, cool. Like just learn from here, ask questions, let's chat, right? So for 90 minutes, if you're going to kick it with me for 90 minutes, like that's cool. I appreciate it. There's a lot of entertainment on these calls. We laugh, we joke, we cut up. Since it's just me today, like I'm gonna be cutting up with myself. So if you're cool with that, being a little weird every once in a while, you're in the right place. So just give me a second here. I'm gonna make sure everything is up and running. So we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. We're really trying to grow the YouTube side. I got a whopping 33 followers. So if you guys like the YouTube side, let me see, 33 subs. Yeah, I got 33 subs. So if you're, feeling a little some charity going on, you just go on there and you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way we'll just keep pushing stuff over there. I would love for that to be like the main source of education for us. Right now we're all over the place. So I would love to funnel everything back to YouTube. We've got a lot of education. We have podcasts going. We've got a lot of stuff going. All of our trainings go over there. You name it. Okay, it's all over there. So let me just double check, make sure everything is ready, running. I might have. There we go. All right, we're live on. Yeah. Okay. Instagram's running, so we're good there. We're good there. Yeah. So, anyways, let's chat. So I'm supposed to be getting a list from Bobby for everything that we have under contract, and Bobby, I think is still on an airplane. I'm not too sure. Let me see here, Mr. Bobby. All right. So if you are joining us and you are watching, I would love to know what market you're looking at. So if you're buying a short, like what are you buying? Are you buying a short-term rental? Are you buying a long-term rental? Are you looking for a primary residence? Like what are you actually looking for? I'm going to post this comment on here. So if you get on here at any point during this next 90 minutes, I want to know what market are you looking at? What market are you looking in? STR, long-term rental, co-living. Co-living is one that we've been exploring. Co-living or primary residence. There we go. So I'm going to share this on the screen. So it's just going to stay up. Like for the full 90 minutes, the thing is just really just going to stay in. And you can comment, ask questions, shoot me. Don't shoot me in. Don't text me during this because I won't see it. So if you want to communicate with us, you want to chat with me, shoot, we can come on up here and we can chat too. So make sure you put that put that in the comments down there. That way I'll see them. I'm trying to monitor Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So forgive me if I don't get to it for like, say, I don't know, a couple of minutes because I don't see it. So anyway, all right. So when you look at all the things that we're doing, high level down, just overall, like if you're wanting to go lock up stuff under contract, right? Like you want to become, I don't want to say like you want to become a wholesaler or you want to do creative deals, you want to do things like that, there's things that we have to remember. And this is something that Bobby's really, really good at. But there's some things that you have to remember. Like, number one, what kind of pain or what are we doing to solve? Like, what kind of solutions are we creating? And you'll talk to a lot of homeowners that are super behind on mortgage, can't afford it anymore, maybe lost their house, gotten a divorce, maybe inherited a house. So you have all these things that like their circumstances that these owners and stuff are trying to get through, and all they know is to talk to a realtor. That's literally all they know. And the realtor's like, well, I need to list it for sale, and we got to go through pictures, and we got to go through this, and I'm going to take, we're going to take 6% commission, and we're going to take all this stuff. So like, that is the only solution that a lot of people know about, or they post on Facebook. So if you're going and you're like, hey, I'm going to go help this guy, let's just say my neighbor, right? Actually, I'll use a really good example. End of my street, at the very top of my street, the guy passed away. Okay, they found him in the house, I think last week. Passed away, older guy, lost his wife like 5 years ago. I don't think he had any kids. They just found him in the house. Package was delivered to his house instead of my other neighbor's house. And they went to go check it because the picture showed their house, whatever the guy's passed, he's passed away. So now what happens with the house? Well, it would go like next of kin, somebody would inherit it. And we think that he doesn't have a family, right? But what needs to happen, like technically, I need to walk up there and say, hey, what are you guys doing with this house? Do you guys want to sell it? Do you just want to, like, what do you want to do, right? And if they say, well, we just want it to be gone, right? We don't want to rent it. We don't want to do anything with it. It's my uncle's house, my dad's house, whatever. And we just want to be done with it. Like, okay, cool. What if I could sell it for you? I'll throw it under contract. You can go 2 ways. One, I can sell it for you. I have buyers that buy these. Or what if I just lock it up under contract? I'll buy it. We talk about I'll buy it cash, but like we dispose these properties. We connect front and back end buyers and sellers. And we're going to make a fee. Maybe it's a $10,000 fee. Maybe it's a $50,000 fee. Maybe it's a $3,000 fee. I don't know. Just depends on the price of the house. So if you're like, what's a $25,000 house? You're not going to wholesale and make $100,000, right? It's $125K. Like it doesn't make sense for for a $25,000 house. So we have to evaluate and look at like, what is the house going to be used for, right? Right here at the end of the road, we would have to say, okay, that would be like a long-term rental or a primary residence. One of those two. Now, if we're going to get creative, we have to understand the situation of the seller. And this is what the whole acquisitions team really dives in on is like, let's say he has a mortgage, right? It's different situations, different circumstances, different opportunities. The guy passed away, new family inherited it. They don't want anything to do it. They're probably just going to sell it outright, like really cheap. Like this is what you would think, right? Nobody in the family really knows the real estate dynamic or anything. They just want it gone. They're going to inherit it. They just want it gone. So then we would lock it up probably for pretty cheap, and we would dispo it with a wholesale fee on it, with a transaction fee, with an entry fee, something like that. And we would sell it cash to either another primary resident person or a long-term rental investor, depending on the price. But it has to make sense, right? You can't sell it if their value is $400,000. You can't sell it for $5,000. Right? It doesn't make any sense. So if we could get it for like a little bit cheaper, maybe we can get it for like $325. We can dispo it for $375, or we get it for $350 and dispo it for $375. That's under market. It should sell quickly. We'll get them their money that they want. We make a little fee on it. We move on. So that's actually, now that I'm talking to this, probably something I'm going to go up there and talk to them about. So when we look at that, we say, okay, well, that's that situation. That's just going to be a full wholesale dispo. If it's something where they're like, hey, I can't afford this anymore, and they bought the house, I don't know, at COVID, and they got a 2.5 interest rate. We have one locked up. It's got 2.5 or 2.75 interest rate in Salt Lake City. If you want to know more details on that, let me know. But it's like there's an entry fee in there, whatever. So like I think there's a catch up on arrears, which is like when somebody doesn't pay the mortgage over time, there's like these back payments, right? 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, whatever. And so you have to catch up the arrears, and then we get into the property. So that entry fee is usually like the dispo fee, the headhunt fee, like your wholesale fee, whatever, your arrears, your transaction costs, like your closing costs. There's a lot of things that are built into that. So if it's a house that's for sale for $400,000, you want to try to get, like, we want to try to get you in there for less than 10% down, right? So like maybe like 5 5% or 8% down. Like that would be the interest fee and everything. And that would pay the acquisition team, they'll pay everybody. So if you're like heavy headhunting, that like I said, like different opportunities get presented in different situations. So if they're like, hey, I can't afford this anymore, then we're like, okay, let's take over this mortgage because it's a 2.5% interest rate. If we're taking over a 9% interest rate, then we might as well just go get a new loan, right, for 7.5% or 7%. So, or if somebody can buy with a VA loan, whatever. So that would be like the time where we don't necessarily need to look at like acquiring it with like a sub 2 or a wrap or an assumption or something like that. We need to look at like a new loan product, or if it is 7.5 or 8.5%, and it's a primary residence or long-term rental, and it makes sense with a mortgage because maybe they have like a super low mortgage on it, or they bought it and before everything boomed or whatever. We can actually take over that mortgage, and then we can finance the equity side. So, like, let's say the house is worth $400,000, right? And it's going to be a long-term rental. With $400K, and they have a $200,000 mortgage on it, we assume that whatever interest rate, we assume that we just start paying on that $200,000, right? We just take over those payments. But then there's another $200,000 in equity. Well, if you're trying to get in a deal with like little to no money down, we don't necessarily want to give them $200,000, right? So that doesn't make any sense. Financially, that makes no sense. That's 50% down. That doesn't make any sense. So if we could get something like $20K down, and then we finance $180,000 at 0% or at 4% or 3%, we can have like a good blended rate there. And so now your 3% and your 8% blend to, let's just say, 5.5. And because you have 200,000 here, 200,000 here, let's just say, I'm just using this for arbitrary numbers, right? Then you can have a really good blended rate. And so when it's time to refinance out, it doesn't really affect you. And you just want the refi to come down, the rates to come down. So when the acquisitions team starts going after these deals, it's all about serving the seller first and understanding like what their situation is, right? We can't be like, hey, we want to assume your loan. And they're like, well, I don't have a loan to assume. I'm like, okay, well, that's off the table. And you just start hitting them. You got to find out what they want first. And so then we start looking in these markets. And usually we'll get somebody that says, hey, I'm looking in, I don't know, Broken Bow, or I'm looking in Gatlinburg or Palm Springs or Kissimmee or whatever. And then the team like literally starts pulling the list and says, okay, high debt, or not high debt, like high equity, or they purchased in these 2 years, or low rates, or whatever. And those different lists come with different acquisition strategies. So I hope all that makes sense. It kind of gives you a little bit higher of an awareness. Now, like when we get on the phone with these people, yes, it really starts like very generic, right? Like if it's not a referral or somebody that we already know that's struggling, they reach out or whatever, it's more of like, hey, I see that you potentially could use some help with your property. Like you don't want to just be like, hey, saw that you got a divorce. I've seen situations where that actually was like the first time they ever heard they were getting a divorce because they filed for divorce and it was in the paperwork, it was in the open records, public records, and it was like they had no idea, right? So you don't want to be like that, because that could be a problem. But if you are trying to talk somebody into like, hey, let me help you, you have to come through with your service first. So it is like, hey, I'm here to help you. I'm here to, help you get out of this situation or whatever. I've seen deals. I have seen deals where they just didn't want the house anymore. So we were managing a cabin in Blue Ridge, and the seller bought it, and he bought it off of bad projections from another management company. And he was like, oh my God, this is going to make so much money, whatever. Well, we took it over and we went through the projections, and I was like, bro, this doesn't make any sense. It was like 75% at $450, $459. And he was like, of course I'm going to spend $600,000 on this house. Of course I'm going to do that. It doesn't that would be stupid not to let this pass up. Well, that wasn't the right projections. It was more like 200 a night at like 55%, something like that. And I was like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Well, he got to where he wasn't making money. He was like, look, and he made really good money. He's like, I could keep doing this, but I just don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this house anymore. I can't sell it. It's, I don't have any equity in this house. I'm actually upside down, right? Because we're going through the boom. He's like, I just want to sell it creatively. I just want to get rid of it. Like, okay, So he sold it, and we kind of helped him like through the paperwork and like the ideas and all that stuff. He did a sub two deal. Guy actually lives in California. He did a sub two deal, and the new owner was their dream guy. He's like, I don't care if it makes money or not. This guy makes like stupid money. This guy came in. He's like, I don't care what, like, it doesn't matter. I don't care if it never rents. I can afford it. He was in medical device sales, I think it was, like stupid money coming in. And he was like, this is my dream, right? So this cabin's my dream. And so what was worked out was you took over the loan. So he started paying the loan. He put 2 to 3 months of payments in escrow. So the seller could see that the money was there. And then what they did is he paid him $5,000 a month because he financed the equity. So he got in for like, he put $50K down or $30K down or something on the house. That paid the seller some good money up front. So he got that. And then he said, hey, like, it was like $5K a month. I think they skipped like 6 months. And they said, let's start it in the new year. Put $50K down, and then I'm going to start your $5,000 a month payments for 1 year for the next year, whatever it was. Something like that. So it'd be another $60,000 come in to like balance that equity, and then he would just assume the loan. He would just keep paying the loan. So it's super creative. Like they work the timetables out and all that stuff. So when we look at that, we say like, what was his need? What was his pain point? Well, his pain point was that he just didn't want the house anymore. It wasn't making any money. He was upside down on his equity. He was like, it is what it is, right? Now I'm not going to take $100,000 loss. So he was able to get somebody in for like super cheap. Excuse me, $50K down. I think it was $50K. And then he was like, hey, no payments. And then like, we'll take over the loan, no payments until like January. And it was like $5K a month. So I balanced that equity out. And again, this guy came in and had crazy money. So you see these kind of things all over the place. Now, like when we bought the Mallard, they were already okay with like some stuff. So we came in with 30% down. We financed interest only for the first 2 years, and then a 5-year balloon on that seller finance deal. So I think our payments are like a little over $3K a month now because we're in principal and interest. But it was like $2,300 a month. Now it's $3,300 a month. So just depends on the deal. Yeah. Anyways, I can ramble about this all day. So if you're on here, you're watching, you're stopping by. What markets are you looking in? Are you headhunting? Are you looking to purchase? Are you trying to get something creative? Are you looking for investment property? Are you looking for primary residence? So we actually had Salt Lake City, Utah. There's a house, and let me see if he texts me back. So there's a house that we have in Salt Lake City that is perfect for a primary residence. It's an assumption of 2.75%. Yeah, we're looking at a bunch of different stuff. So if you're like stopping by and you're like, hey, that's why I put this up on the screen. What market are you looking in? Short-term rental, long-term rental, co-living, primary residence. I just need to know. We had a post go out about purchasing, and there was like 20 different markets posted in there. So if you're here, let's chat. Now, if you also have a deal that you want to talk about, like you're trying to negotiate with somebody on the creative finance side, you need some help, like throw a comment on here. You can come up if you want to chat. We can go back and forth. But like, it's just me today. So you just come and hang out. I don't even have my coffee. I've got like my son poured like a Yoo-hoo or something in this mug. I hope it's Yoo-hoo. Yeah, I think it's Yoo-hoo. Oh, it's definitely Yoo-hoo. So if you got questions, throw them in the chat. We can talk about some creative finance stuff. When you're talking about headhunting and you're like, hey, I want to go start wholesaling, right? Because those methods of like wholesaling up to acquisition is perfect. Now, if you have wholesale deals, you're like, hey, I need a dispo somewhere, let me know, right? We have people in our community that are always looking for deals. They're always looking for something, looking for the next one. Just need to know, right? Like if you're great at lead gen, perfect. Now, if you're great at dispo, let me know too, because we have some deals that maybe the community doesn't want, and then we can dispo them out. But when you look at wholesaling methods, you look at cold calling methods, you look at all this stuff where like, hey, you're getting them under contract. I mean, we've done creative deals right off of MLS. We've done them off market. I've sold deals on creative finance. I've You know, I've bought deals on creative finance. We've got, I mean, almost every deal we've bought so far. No, that's not right. Yeah, we have a lot of deals that are under creative finance. So I got 2 land lots that I've sold out on creative finance. I've got Mold Ran 1500 is sold out on creative finance. And I'll tell you, if you sell it out on creative finance and you're like, hey, I'm going to seller finance this house out somewhere, and that's a lot of people in the STR game is doing because they bought and then the markets get crazy. They're not making the money they're supposed to make. So you start selling on creative finance. Well, if you're going to sell, and this would also help you on the purchase side, if you're going to sub to a deal and you're going to say, hey, look, let me take over the mortgage, or you take over the mortgage, or whatever, putting 2 to 3 months of escrow or 2 to 3 months of mortgage in an escrow account is an awesome idea, an absolute awesome idea. So we have a cabin that we're trying to sell. I got a call, and they were like, yeah, well, this is what we do. Like, we buy all of our stuff. We have like a 10-year plan of payoff or something like that. We're going to refinance out in 10 years. But what happens is it just gets you out of the mortgage, and you don't have to worry about it. Somebody else is paying your mortgage. I was like, okay, like, tell me what you guys would do. And they said, well, we traditionally, because they do this for a living, they actually buy them for themselves, and they have, they're out of New York. I think it was New York. Yeah, it was like a Wall Street company where they're like, hey, we're just going and locking up all these deals. I'm like, cool. It was like 200 grand down or 100 grand down. We assume the mortgage, and we start paying on your equity over like in the next 6 months. We're like, okay, give me some more details. They said, well, we put 3 months of escrow or 3 months of mortgage in an escrow account. So you can see it, but you don't have access to it. You can just see it there. So if something was to happen, it makes you feel a little bit better, like something was happening real late, a couple of days, whatever, it's always there. And I was like, huh, that actually makes me feel better. And I know that will be a really good push to tell somebody else that's never been through this, right? They've never been through a sale on creative finance, because we all do this every day. So it's really easy for us to be like, oh yeah, don't worry about it, we'll take over your mortgage. And they're like, no? How do I know you're going to pay it? Well, we're going to put 2 or 3 months in the escrow just so you can see it. So that's, like, remember, you're going through a sale, right? You're talking to these people and you're trying to help them. So don't assume that they know everything, Let's see. What are we going to talk? We may cut this one short today because neither one of the guys are here, right? So I'm trying to get that list from everybody. From Bobby on what everybody has locked up, what we all have locked up. I still don't have anything from him, but we had some in Ohio, Missouri, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Utah, a couple in Utah. Let's see. What else? There was one in, I don't know if there was one in Cali or not. Maybe we'll have one in Cali. But yeah, if you guys are looking, where you're looking, just let me know. Throw it in the chat. Shoot me a DM. I probably won't say it until we get off this thing. But yeah, that's what we're here for, right? If you are, and I'll just take this to the side for a second, but if you are growing a short-term rental company and you're co-hosting, then you definitely need to let me know if you want to get in the challenge. So we just started the challenge last week. We're doing a 90-day challenge. That 90-day challenge is solely for people who are growing a co-hosting business. And our goal is to throw 25 more on the board this next 3 months. So over the next 3 months, we're going to take our company to 50. We signed 2 deals last week. And actually, if you guys follow me on Instagram or Facebook, whatever, we're going to start putting those journeys out so other people can see what it really looks like to like start signing deals and landing deals. Just so you guys can get some transparency, because I want you guys to see it, right? I want you guys to know this stuff is real. You can really build business. You can really quit your W-2s. You can really do all of this stuff. But we designed this challenge specifically for people to go get deals. Like literally specifically for people to go get deals. And sign them and land them and make money. You got wholesale fees. You got onboard fees. You got, of course, your management fees. You got all these things that come in, and a lot of people just don't know, right? They just have no idea. So if you want to know more about the challenge, drop a comment in the chat, send me a DM. I'll see it. here in a little bit. But yeah, so we got the challenge going on. We just started last week. We got 2 that were signed last week with onboard fees in. Let's see, if you're looking to scale from like co-hosting to like hotel management, so we've got 3 hotels. We've got partnerships on 3 hotels, and then we operate them as well. So we have the hotel management side as well. So if you guys are trying to get into that, you have questions about that, shoot me a message. We'll get into that. We're also looking for another hotel to purchase, to partner with. So if you have any deals that you guys are trying to dispo, or you got coming across the plate, or you're trying to sell one of your own hotels, let me know, because we may have some people looking to buy. That would be Tennessee, that'd be in Georgia, that would be in North Carolina, New Hampshire, and near Acadia National Park in Maine. So those are the New Hampshire and Acadia where we have the other 2. We have one in Tennessee. So let's see. Up here all alone. I am trying to get something. We're going to get all the deals put, and I'll post it too. We're going to get all the deals put on a Canva doc, if you will. All the locations, if they're STR, if they're long-term rental, whatever. And I'm going to post them, but every time we get on here, it's just going to be another page that's running constantly. So if somebody jumps on here and they say, I want to know more details about this or that or what have you, it will be here for you always. So it doesn't matter if you jumped in at the 1st minute or the 90th minute, you'll still see it. So it will be aware, like you can be aware of all of the things that we have under contract ready to go. Now, again, if you're looking for a deal, please send me a message of the market that you're looking in, right? If we end this live and you go on here in 2 days and you go on here in 2 days and you like comment like Atlanta, Georgia, I'm probably not going to see it. So send it to me directly. Say, hey, these are the market that I'm actually looking to purchase in. You said from the Acquisitions Cafe to send you this, send it to me. I will see it. Then I will take note of it. I'll let Bobby know. I'll let Jeremy know. And we'll really start hitting that on the acquisition side. Okay? And if you have a buy box, send that to me too. Okay? That'd be amazing. That would make my life a lot easier. And if you're steadily looking for a deal, you know what market you're looking at. Okay? All right. So we're going to do this for another, say, 5 minutes. And then we're going to jump off. Okay? Because I don't have the list of everything that we have under contract now. And when I do, I will post it so everybody can see it. Okay? So if you have general questions about seller finance, if you have general questions about acquisition, if you have general questions about wholesaling, cold calling, locking them up, contracts, whatever, throw them in here. Let's talk. Let's chat. Let's see it. And then I'll leave you guys alone at, say, like the 30-minute mark. Okay? Let's see. If you guys are looking for an STR, make sure that when you're looking for an STR, we're looking for, I'm curious on what you guys are using if you're not using AirDNA or like, what is it? Rabu? I don't even know. I can't remember the other one. DMB, I think it's Rabu. Let me see. Yeah, it's Rabu. It's an AirDNA revenue calculator. So if you guys aren't using, I'm sorry, B&B Calc. That's what it was. If you guys are not using those 2 softwares, AirDNA or B&B Calc, please let me know, and I'll tell you, like, hey, I think it's a good one. I think it's a bad one. But if you can use AirDNA, that's what we use, then use it. But remember, it's like a scale, right? So like if you're using B&B Calc, just use B&B Calc. If you're using AirDNA, just use AirDNA. When you start going back and forth and you're like, well, I'm going to look this and I'm going to see what they say. It's like a scale. So like if you're trying to lose 10 pounds, you're not going to go like step on your scale at home, and then go over to the doctor and step on that scale, and then go to the gym and step on that scale and be like, okay, well, this morning I was, 200, which I'm way more than 200, but like, let's say I'm 200. And then, well, at the gym, I was at like 202. And then at the doctor, I was like 208. So I've gained 8 pounds since I left the house. Like, that's not how that works, okay? Rabu and AirDNA are very similar like that. They'll give you very close occupancy, very close revenue. They're not going to be perfect. They're not perfect, period. They're not going to be perfectly in line with each other. So there's going to be a slight difference. So, like, just use one. Just use one and then look at your comps from there and understand, okay, where are we going from here? Like, if they're all doing 100 grand, okay, cool. You have an outlier doing 175, I'd probably just scratch it. So if they're all doing 100, then just go off the 100. If they're all doing 55% occupancy, then go off of that. Okay? So understand the tools that you're using because we use them too. So when we send you a deal and say, hey, like you've been looking in Gatlinburg, it's going to do 125K a year. We're using a software that we fully believe in and say, okay, it's doing 125 grand a year. And then we're going to try to stay conservative. And then we're going to look at amenities and say, okay, it needs this, and it needs that, and it needs this. So it's kind of like a done with you service, but it's solely for you to go land the deal. Okay? So we obviously are going to try to give you all of the information up front. Okay? Again, if you have a market, please send it to me. Throw it in the chat. We're going to end in like a minute. I just want to make sure we're still streaming everywhere. If you guys have questions, you guys are along your journey in purchasing, and you just have questions on operations or anything like that, please let me know. Please send it to me. And I will personally talk to you. I'll personally handle it with you, and we can kind of go from there. Okay? Also, if you guys want to see more stuff outside of just Acquisitions Live, and we do a training every Wednesday in the Facebook group, if you want to see more than that, you want to see certain topics, certain things, like, send it to me, right? Send me a DM. Send me a comment. Send me something so I know that we're doing a good job when it comes to getting you guys to the next level, right? We do have a community. We do have all of this stuff and all these resources on the backside, but I still want to be able to help you and push you guys in the right direction. So if there's anything that you guys are missing, want to see, anything like that, please let me know. Okay? All right. So with that, I'm going to leave you. We're going to be done with this one. I will see you next Monday. I will have a list next Monday. Bobby will be on next Monday, but Jeremy's not. Jeremy's on like a 10-day travel thing. So send me what you got. Send me stuff you need help with, co-hosting, SDR purchasing, hotels, you name it. I'm here for you. Please let me know. And with that, I will leave you.